Shedeur Sanders, his pro football debut.
I don't ever remember a rookie that has been drafted outside of the first round taking the league by storm.
Sanders throws, touchdown, putting on a show here in the second quarter.
I wasn't nervous, it was just getting comfortable. Well, I say I'm comfortable being uncomfortable.
Well, he looked comfortable in that first preseason game, but the Browns released their second QB depth chart of the summer, and even after Shedeur Sanders piloted that impressive 10 series of action in the debut, Joe Flacco's still QB1, followed by Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, both of whom have been hampered with hamstring injury issues.
Hey, man, it finally happened. Shedeur got on the field. Oh. You watching the game, Chad, there's a lot of Shedeur Sanders fans. What did you think of his first outing?
Listen, all the talk and the narratives and the storylines and whatever you want to say, sooner or later that ball's about to snap. And that young man we watched in Colorado was one of the best football players in the nation, is now looking like one of the best football players in the nation at another level. That's what it was. I knew the collusion and all the stuff, like I said, you want to go through. You saw what Shedeur Sanders was capable of. We all knew what Shedeur Sanders was capable of, and he's gonna show that he should start there. Flacco's there, Kenny Pickett was hurt, that little itty-bitty boy from Oregon, whatever his name is.
Dylan Gabriel.
Gabriel, he's an itty-bitty spider. No. Shedeur Sanders is a ball player, fellas, and I love that he went out there. You can say what you want about that man. Sooner or later, that ball's about to snap in the middle of that field, between that 100 and that 53, and we're gonna see what football's about, and Shedeur showed.
Yeah, no, Shedeur showed up. Well, in the words of Denny Green, he is who we thought he was. This is the same person we've seen the last 4 or 5 years, from Jackson State to Colorado, always poised. I'm not just talking about on the field, he's always poised off the field. The interviewers, these reporters, they try and rattle him. You get all this stuff in social media. He's always Shedeur Sanders, smiling, respectful, knowledgeable, and that's what you get. Deion did an amazing job of not only raising just a beautiful young man in all capacity, but even more so, a football player who will not flinch. Shedeur got out there after all those injuries you mentioned to go from 4th on the depth chart to starting in the first preseason game. It was said earlier in the week, it was a setup. I think it was a setup. It was a setup for an opportunity to succeed and excel. And Shedeur, he grasped it. He took full advantage of it, right? And he went out there, he made all us happy. We're gonna always continue to root for him, like I say, man. So 1 down, 20 more to go this year or whatever. So the work's just getting started, man, but the opportunity presented itself, and he stole it, and man, just gonna keep going.
Yeah, there's a difference in between being humble and being humbled. Like, the world tried to humble Shedeur Sanders, the drafters and the scouts and the evaluators, but he just used it to be humble in the way he went about work, the composure, the poise, and the way that he's handled his situation, being the 4th quarterback throughout this. He's not ruffled any feathers. He's shown that he could be a leader. He's shown that he understands he has to earn it. He's told Deion, hey, you gotta wait. And the people talking about whether or not this opportunity is a setup, they don't understand ball. There is no success without an opportunity. And there is no such thing as luck when they say preparation meets opportunity. But this man's been preparing for this moment his entire life. And think about the amount of Shedeur Sanders jerseys that have been sold. Think about the way people watch that game. Those are not Cleveland Browns fans. Those are Shedeur Sanders fans. And the owner, Jimmy Haslam, said, you know what, Andrew Berry made this pick. And if I'm Andrew Berry, I'm rubbing my hands like Birdman, right? Because we all knew who this man was. We all knew what he'd accomplished. We all knew what he was made of. And for him to go out there on a night that he wasn't supposed to be the starting quarterback, on a night where he hadn't gotten the reps with those people he'd be working with, and show out, showed exactly why he should have been drafted earlier. But this is what it is, man. Sometimes, man, you got to have a setback for the get back to be historic. And I believe that's what Shedeur Sanders showed us in his first night under center as a Cleveland Brown.
Okay, for more on this, let's welcome in 2-time Super Bowl champ Damian Woody. Okay, so Kevin Stefanski not really committing on the quarterback situation just yet. It's interesting that Shedeur Sanders debut didn't move the needle up the depth chart. So, Damian, how do you think he did in his debut, and what will it take for him to move up?
I thought Shedeur acquitted himself very well. We saw a lot of different situations when it came with Shedeur. You saw him underneath center. You saw him in shotgun. Okay, you saw him in backed up situation. And the one thing you could say about Shedeur, he was poised and he was prepared. He spoke after the game. He talked about nothing really surprised him. That's great credit to his preparation, getting ready for this game. Listen, he played the majority of the snaps in this game. I thought, again, he made some throws, some layered throws you saw in the red zone. Both touchdown passes I thought was great, movement in the pocket. And so for me, when I look at Shedeur Sanders and how he played, I think he planted the seed. Yeah. Plant the seed in Kevin Stefanski's head to earn more opportunities with the 2s and the 1s moving forward.
Okay, so maybe he's not moving up just yet, but he's planted that seed, maybe primes.
Corners underneath, safeties over the top. The anticipation's there, but also the direction of the throw, the placement of that throw. And then this is lovely. This is the touchdown pass, the second part. Blitzing linebacker. You guys have to see, he's going to shuffle, remain a passer, keep his eyes down the field, and look how quickly that happens. That's the playing fast to me. Sometimes in college, Shedeur would just play slow to a point or run away and retreat. Now, there were moments of that, but I just thought watching him, he did some things even in one game that were somewhat question marks coming out of college that you have to be so encouraged about. No question, he has to be getting starting reps this week. I'm in the camp, start one of the rookies. We saw one of the rookies play. He should be getting starting reps this week.
Do you think Shedeur did enough to prove that he should be in consideration for the starting job, Swag?
Yeah, he did. And listen, because you know Joe Flacco is not your long-term answer to be your starting quarterback if you're going to usher in a new quarterback and get this team potentially in a position where they can go and play forward and make moves in order to try to win a lot of games, especially in that division. Here's the thing for me, though. Like, the response of the kid is the best thing that happened in this game, right? We've been talking all offseason about he's not getting enough reps in practice, all of these things, set up to fail, all of that. I said Friday when I was on First Take, I said this is the perfect opportunity because Dan and Woody knows this. Injuries create space for you to perform. Yeah. It's an age-old tale in the NFL, and this is one of those other situations when you see in the preseason a guy goes down and the team finds out, oh, we got a player here. Now, it's a polarized position, and obviously we know about Shedeur Sanders. I played with a guy named Miles Austin in Dallas. Yeah. We would not have known how good he was at wide receiver had it not been for an injury. This happens so much in the offseason. He went and took full advantage of his opportunity. And what he's done more than anything, he's earned more reps in practice and earned more critical reps in practice now in order to compete to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Because everybody else on this roster ain't proven. So I don't know why in the hell you would leave him at fourth string after a performance like that.